So I'm gonna do a quick little get ready with me. I feel like these are just easier to film and stuff because like when it comes to makeup tutorials, I like those to be a little more professional, where I set up my soft boxes and stuff. I'm on my vanity. This is where I get ready and do my makeup every day. Well, not every day because I don't wear makeup every day, but why don't we just get started? So I always start off with my face already moisturized. I'm full on starting with my brows. This is exactly what I do all the time that I do my makeup. So I just run my spoolie through it a few times. Not the spoolie that's on the brow pencil because this one obviously has product. This one has no product. If you guys want a full-on brow routine in depth, a new updated one, let your girl know in the comments. One time, I think, pretty sure I was still in 8th grade. One time I was gonna go to the movies with my friends, but I really wanted to get my eyebrows done. And my lady that I usually go to, I've never gone to anyone else except for this one time, my regular lady was out. And so I went to my grandma's work because we were actually picking something up at the time or dropping something off, and my grandma owns a business and she owns a building, and so people can rent out the space above her for their like little businesses. And so there's been this salon for the longest time. I used to go get my hair bleached there, and I don't know why I didn't think, like, every time I got my hair bleached there it was horrid. I got a dry scalp from them burning me with the bleach one time. So I don't know why I let my grandma talk me into going for my eyebrows. So I went for my eyebrows, and the lady was on the phone the whole time, mind you. I didn't say anything because of course I was shy and I didn't speak up at the time. And I felt her completely put the wax like super high up, and then when she put this strip on, I was like, this is it. This is it. This is the end. My eyebrows are gonna be no more. So sure enough, she pulls it off and it's all gone. I had, literally, you guys, I had sperm brows for the longest time. It was 5 weeks before the new school year started too, so it was like summer. I was so upset. I came downstairs crying, covering my eyebrows, and my mom and my grandma were just looking at me like, what happened? What's wrong? My mom came running to me, and I took off my hands from my eyebrows, and my mom was pissed. My mom was so upset. She went upstairs to tell the lady off. Like, that's how upset my mom was. So I literally canceled going with my friends to the movies that time. And after that, she was like, when she was telling the lady off, she was telling her off in Spanish, but obviously I can understand, and she was like, you are not getting paid for this, I should get you fired, blah blah blah, because she didn't even have a real license up in that place, like a school license, like a cosmetology license. And she was still on the phone as my mom was telling her off. My mom came downstairs, she's like, I could have hit her, but there was kids there and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I just want to go home. I canceled with my friends. I was like, something bad happened and I can't go out in public. And they totally understood. They were like, okay, it's fine, we'll just reschedule. We actually went on vacation that following week, and I was so upset because my eyebrows I just couldn't, it's like your eyebrows are, when you have thick eyebrows, it's like you cherish them. So I cherished them even at a young age. Before, when I just started doing makeup, like, I obviously cherished them, and then all of a sudden they were gone. I would slather on Vaseline every single night just to have them grow out. Eventually they started growing out a lot. And literally the week before school started, I went to my regular lady and she almost started crying. She's like, what happened? And I told her, and she was like, oh my gosh, she's like, don't ever go to anyone else again. She's like, she's like, it's gonna take a while for them to become even again, but don't ever go to anyone else. And so Never have I ever gone to anyone else. I call now ahead of time to make sure she's going to be available when I need to go. But ever since I got castor oil, which I'll link down below because a lot of you guys always ask me about the castor oil. Ever since I've been using castor oil, they became even. She actually made them full on even because before one of them was always higher than the other. And now they're full on even, and I'm so thankful. But castor oil, my friends, castor oil works more than Vaseline, and Vaseline works hella good, but castor oil works better. So for my brows, I only use the ABH brow definer now. I don't use the brow wiz, I use the brow definer in the shade Ebony. So I used to use dark brown, but it was a little too brown for my eyebrows. You could definitely tell that they were just way too brown. So I use Ebony now. And then for eyebrow gel, I use the I use the Rimmel Born This Way clear brow gel. I do have to apply this pretty generously though, just because my brow hairs, Emmanuel always tells me my brow hairs literally stick up. They're not flat on my face. So I do have to apply this generously for them to actually stay in place like all day long. Now we can move on to the face. So after I do my brows, I typically move on to the face. Since I want this to be more of a glowy, dewy look, which is what I've been doing, I still use a mattifying primer. So I use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, but I do apply a little glow underneath that beforehand. So I'm going to be using the Pixie by Petra Liquid Illuminator. So this one's in Pink Pearl. I apply it on my two middle fingers, so my middle finger and then my ring finger. And I literally only apply this much. Not even a little dime size. And I just mix it with the other two fingers only, because I don't want to spread this too much. And I apply it to my high points really quickly, because it does kind of stick really quickly. So right above my brows, a little bit on the sides, my temples, and on my cheekbones, and on my nose, the bridge of my nose and the ball of my nose. So I'm not really being careful with this because obviously I just want it to be a glow everywhere. But once I feel that the product is running out is when I start bringing it everywhere else. But I really want most of the product to be like on my cheekbones and stuff. Letting that settle in for a second, I'm going to move on to the Smashbox Photo Finish. This I use about the same, not even a dime-sized amount. So I always make sure to actually get under my eyes. If you have an eye cream on, usually that could stay in place for your primer, but I didn't put on my eye cream today. Moving on to foundation. I love my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation for an everyday basis whenever I wear makeup, because it's super lightweight. You can build the coverage in areas that you want to, and it's luminous. If I have any red spots, I like to go in with this Essence Snow Redness, and I just rub my finger on it and apply it on places that I have redness. I don't apply it directly too because it's not really that sanitary, and my hands are clean, so I just apply it anywhere I have redness. Tap it in. You don't need a lot of this. I'm also, before we apply the foundation, just going to go over these little areas with some concealer. And I'm going to use my beauty blender and just tap. I'm just going to dot the foundation. So if I need any more foundation, there's still some on the dish. I don't like to put it all on my face just in case I need more. Basically I'm using less and building it up. So like I said, with this foundation, it's luminous, it's not full coverage, but you can build it up in the areas that you want to, which is why I use less and then go in with more. So the key also is to tap lightly so that it could just be a more fuller coverage foundation. So I go in very lightly. What are your guys' plans for this summer? Are you guys traveling? Are you guys going back to school sooner than you thought? What are you guys going back to school for? Or are you guys just entering high school? What grade are you going into? Like, how are you guys doing? Like, what's happening in your life right now? Because I update you guys on my life like all the time, but I want to know what you guys are doing. What are your plans? Now I'm going in back with my NARS concealer. Not going heavy with this because obviously this is daytime. Just doing about these little stripes around my mouth because that's where I get smile lines, and it's a little darker around here. And then just a little bit on my forehead. Just enough to cover up these little problematic areas right there. Going in again with my beauty blender. And like I've said before, I like working from the bottom up. I don't usually work in the place that I put it first. I don't know, is that weird? To set these areas, since I don't really want it to be super white with the Laura Mercier, and obviously it's daytime, like I don't need to set it with really that high end of a product, so I go in with my Ben Nye banana powder. Just going to use my little compact so that it's easier to look up and get rid of the creases that I have. And then I try to set the rest of my face with this too. I kind of still bake the sides of my nose. I still get bad smile lines throughout the day, but baking them usually helps a little more, so. Going in with my MAC, I think this was a 138 brush, I think it was. I'm going to go in with this powder. This is the Rimmel Insta Fix and Matte Translucent Powder. It's a compact powder. And I'm just going in with this brush because it applies very lightly, and I just want to go over basically everywhere else that I didn't set very lightly. Now I'm going to go in with bronzer. So this is my favorite brush to bronze with. So I still go in with my absolute favorite NYC bronzer in the shade Fire Island Tan. I've hit pan, but I haven't had the time to go get a new one, so. Because they don't sell them at Target anymore. It's like Walmart and Kmart only, I think. Kind of bummed. I bronze with this and then I go in with another bronzer to kind of cool it down. But I go in with this one because it's the most beautiful bronzy shade with shimmer in it, but not too much. And it gives you that subtle luminous bronze that you just want from within, even though it's not from within. Since I have my hair up, I'm going to go into my hairline a lot. I started going back in with my blush brush, and I went back into my e.l.f. bronzer palette, and I started using this shade again to kind of go over very lightly. It's much cooler, so it just tones down the orangeness from the other bronzer. With the same brush, I kind of go back in between these two. This is the Tarte blush in Party. This is the Essence blush in Baby Doll. So this is high-end, this is drugstore. Kind of mix them both and go in on my cheeks. Moving on to highlights, I have been using two highlighters. I freaking was contouring with my regular contour brush, not realizing that I never washed the brushes Emmanuel used from our video last weekend. And this is the one he used with blue, and so this whole side of my nose is like faded out blue. Hopefully you can't tell that much, but it is. So I applied Gilded Honey over here on this side of my forehead and on this brow bone. I also did a little bit on the chin and on my Cupid's bow. Now I'm going to take a little brush because this is the highlight I like using to highlight my nose. So I'm going to take a smaller brush and highlight the bridge of my nose. And then I apply it right here. So now I'm going in with this Bobbi Brown one, just right here. I'm not bringing it all the way down, just right on the highest point of my cheekbone. So you can go back in with the face however you'd like, but I'm done with the face. So for days like this where it's like whatever, I'm able to touch up throughout the day, I'm not going to be wearing my makeup for hours and hours. I like to go in with these two, especially this one for the summertime when you want to look very luminous under the sunlight. So I go in with my Makeup Fixing Mist by Pixie first. This one has rose water, so it's almost like using the Mario Badescu rose water. And while this one is still drying, I like to go in with the Glow Mist because obviously who doesn't like a nice glow? I'm going to take some of my Bobbi Brown highlighter and just highlight my collarbones because I'm wearing this type of shirt, you know? So that's it for the face. Now going into the eyes. On a day-to-day basis, I like to just use my mascara. So I use the Lancome mascara primer, and then I go in with my Pure mascara. But today I'm just going in, with my Pure mascara because I am going to do some wispies. So these are stuck together because I used them already. I don't know about you guys, but I like my lashes very curled beforehand because my lashes get heavy and weigh down easily. You always want to look down into a compact mirror because then you can sit the lashes up, because if you're just looking straight into a mirror, you can't, first of all, get them as close to your lash line as possible, and they won't be sitting up the way you want them to. It's kind of harder to get them to sit up when you're just looking straight into a mirror. For lips, I like to go in with my NYX lip liner in Natural. And then I also fill in with the lip liner. Once my lips are lined and filled in with that lip liner, I just picked this up because Sandra Deluxe made me go get it. Like, I had to because it looked so good on her lips. It's the NYX Simply Nude Lip Cream in the shade Honey. And I just dab this, or I don't really dab it, I kind of just fill in, I guess, on my lips. But focusing it really in the middle, not going on the outer corners at all. And it's just so pretty because then I dab it in with my finger. So thank you so much for watching, guys. This is my final result. This is really what I like to go for on a day-to-day basis. It's very light, you guys. Like, it's very wearable. Obviously, I used a lot of drugstore. Besides my brows, I think one blush and one highlighter. Otherwise, everything you can find at Ulta practically in Target. But I hope that you guys enjoyed. Again, let me know if you guys like my sit down get ready with me's or more professional makeup tutorials. I will link everything down below. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial very soon. Don't forget to follow me on my social medias. They are linked at the beginning and down below. Leave a lot of your comments, guys. I love your love. Thank you so much for the love on the past videos that I've posted. You guys are awesome. And I couldn't be any more grateful for the best subscribers in the world. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.